This story is about the great Throop Hotel Fire of 1950. I was in high school, and this was just a month before I graduated, in April, I believe, and we were leaving school to go home to North Topeka, a carload of boys. One of my friends, they were all friends, but one of them had his dad's car, and he was kind of a wild and crazy guy. A little later on, I got to where I wouldn't ride in his car at all. I never went anywhere with him. He was dangerous, but he was excitable, I guess. Anyway, his name was Kip, and we were headed home, and we saw this huge column of smoke and flame coming up off of downtown area. So we headed that way, and the hotel was the Throop, which was a historic old hotel, a unique hotel. It was at 4th and Kansas. There were two hotels on that corner. The Throop sat on the north side of 4th Street, facing Kansas. The Norva sat on the south side of 4th Street. Well, the Throop had a unique architecture. It had every window in the hotel was a bay window, and every bay window was a one-piece curved glass window, and it was striking to look at. It was really nice looking. And when it was built back in the 1890s, it was a showplace of Topeka. And by 1950, it was, it was an old hotel. It was still headquarters for the Democratic Party at that time. We got as close as we could get, parked the car, got out and walked, and the nearest we could get to the fire was the alley behind the Norva, which is right across the street from that building. I don't know why we'd want to be any closer, but you couldn't see it very good because the Norva was in the way. And the building was fully enveloped in fire. It was a goner. But they had every fireman in Topeka that could be spared down there shooting water on it, and every policeman, I'm sure, directing traffic and crowd control. It was crawling with cops and firemen. They were all busy. Somebody noticed there's a fire escape on the back of the Norva. So we scrambled up that fire escape and got on the roof, and it was about the same height building as the Throop. And marvelous view. You could stand on the Norva, and here's all these flames and smoke coming up like this, and those big bay windows were bursting like firecrackers and crashing to the sidewalks below, And we were probably 60 foot from it. A street and two sidewalks was all between us, and 4th wasn't that wide. Well, that was all fine, but Kip got excited. And there were some bricks laying there on top of the Norva on the roof. And he got the idea he could throw one of those bricks through one of those curved windows in the hotel across the street. Well, there were firemen down below on the sidewalks fighting the fire. They weren't right below the Throop, but they were back on the Norva side of the street shooting water up there. He heaved a brick, and we told him not to, but of course, it fell short. You can't throw a brick 60 feet. At least most people couldn't. But when you're way up high, you think you can. You think you can throw it, and it'll go a long ways. It fell to the sidewalk down below. So he wanted to try again, and I think he threw about 4 of them before. Well, the firemen down below, they were excited because they were not only fighting this fire in danger of a wall collapsing on them, but there were bricks falling out of the sky, And they took a dim view of that, and they sent a cop up there. Well, a policeman popped up the fire escape onto the roof, and he was using words I won't even repeat here, and wanted to know who the darn fool was that was throwing the bricks. And, of course, we all pointed to Kip, and it was true. And he wouldn't have doubted us because, as it happened, that police, I think he was a lieutenant, he happened to be the father of the girl that Kip dated routinely and spent a lot of time in that policeman's house. So the policeman recognized Kip, and that probably saved him from terrible fate. It happened, too, that Kip's father was a lieutenant on the fire department, and he was in the area. The policeman gave him a real chewing out right on the spot, of course. And when he got home that night, his dad took up where the policeman left off. But just the fortunate circumstance that he happened to know the policeman involved got him off with a really bad lecture and an escort off the top of the building. And we lost the finale of the fire where the whole thing caved in at once. You know, we didn't get to see that. But that was the Throop Hotel Fire of 1951.